more than one Horlucha shop in the game, or you know, they could be like brothers or sisters, or you know, this Horlucha does move on eventually. We still don't know what Horlucha does. Honestly, I have no idea what it could do, what it could sell you or teach you, but it will be interesting to find out soon. Now in the Pokemon Plaza you can see 5 different paths, so it's kind of interesting. You know, obviously one leads back to the way you came, but you know, the other 4, it's kind of interesting, you know, where do they lead? So I think the one on the right takes you out to either the first dungeon, or it takes you out to all the other dungeons, and you'll get to see that later on. The one up top, it looks like that it's Hippopotas's kind of little cave, because they talk about that when they come down to talk to Trico. I think maybe the one down is Lombre's Lotus Pond, and I'm wondering if these are just like areas you can go in the village, or are they actually dungeons themselves, so it'll be very interesting to find out. The deposit box returns from Gates to Infinity. If you guys don't know what this is, it's basically a box you can put your items in and store them. It's kind of like Kangaskhan storage from Blue and the Rescue Team and Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky. To be honest, I'm disappointed. I really wanted Kangaskhan back. I was talking to you guys in the comment section on one of my other videos I did. I can't remember which one I mentioned Kangaskhan in, but I know some of you guys wanted Kangaskhan to return, because I just feel like the deposit box, it's a bit lifeless. You just put items in. I actually enjoyed talking to Kangaskhan every time I saw her when I get to put items in. It's just nice. It's like a kind of friendly human touch. I say human, you know, they're Pokemon, but you guys know what I mean. It's just nice to like talk to Pokemon and stuff, you know, kind of build up these relations. But nope, there's no Kangaskhan, so I'm a bit upset. But moving on, we get to see Lombre and Hippopotas come talk to your partner. Basically, your partner seems to be kind of like a rascal, to be honest. Kind of not very well behaved, and they seem to be, you know, off on adventures all the time, and they seem to maybe have trashed Lombre's Lotus Pond and gone into Hippopotas's cave. Apparently they took a treasure from there. I don't know what that is, and you know, the first thing that I thought of is that relic from Explorers Time, Darkness and Sky that your partner has. They have this kind of like, they call it their treasure, and it's like a stone, and it becomes quite important later on in the game. So I kind of thought it's going to be something like that. Yeah, who knows? Or is it just, you know, something that isn't very important at all? It's just basically saying that you'll be hunting for treasure in the game. Next up, we see your partner's father. Yes, it's Caracosta. Very weird choice. I kind of understand it because, you know, turtles can live for a long time and they seem quite elderly. It's kind of interesting. So is your partner like adopted or something? It's kind of interesting. They might have been found as a child or something and they just call him dad, or pops as they call him in this. Or is it something like maybe they're the guildmaster, maybe they're the village elder and they just refer to them as pops? Who knows? It's kind of interesting. Another interesting point is that Caracosta mentions that they have an Oranberry field. And what I kind of thought of straight away is from X and Y, when you can actually like grow berries in little fields. So I'm wondering, can you grow berries in Caracosta's field that you can then, you know, pick up and take, and well, harvest is a better word, and then take into dungeons? That would be really helpful, because yeah, you can find Oranberries and they do become less helpful the higher level you get because they don't restore as much health. But it would be cool, you know, you can grow all these different types of berries that maybe we haven't seen in Mystery Dungeon games before, and it would be a really cool new feature to add. But anyway guys, moving on, we get to see the first mission in the game. It's kind of interesting. Basically, you're going to have to find Gumi, who's gone missing in the first dungeon. Basically what Gumi's trying to do is get this piece of paper and write their name on it to prove that they're brave, kind of like an adventurer. And basically it seems to be that Shelmet and Pancham that you'll see later on has tricked, well not tricked, but forced Gumi to go into the forest. The first dungeon, by the way, is called Foreboding Forest. Really cool name. And basically, you know, Deerling, who's kind of part of that little group, is upset that they're being mean to Gumi by sending him off into Foreboding Forest. So yeah, Shelmet and Pancham are dicks, let's be honest guys. You know, you'd never send off like a little kid into a dangerous place when they can't even be bothered to go into that dungeon. So the dungeon itself looks really nice. It's kind of like it looks quite a dark dungeon. It's got some interesting Pokemon that I will go into in a little sec. But basically what kind of caught my eye is that your Pokemon is level 15 at this point, and normally you start at like a lower level. So in Gates to Infinity you started off at level 7, which is a really odd number to start at. Normally I thought it would be 5, like level 5 seems quite standard. You know, your starters in Pokemon games are level 5. So I'm not sure if that's because of the demo, because they do go into a later dungeon. Apparently that's later on in the game, and that they're still level 15, so it's probably because of the demo. So I'm hoping that you start off as a lower level, because it does look quite easy. Honestly, obviously Gates of Infinity was quite easy, I heard, and I would just want this to be, you know, a difficult game like the old Mystery Dungeon game. So the lower level you start, the better for me. I want a bit of a challenge against these Pokemon in the dungeon, but we'll wait and see, I guess. We also see that weather effects return from past Mystery Dungeon games. They've been in all Mystery Dungeons, so it doesn't surprise me that they're back. Basically, when the menu pops up here, you can see that it says weather and then clear, and to be honest, weather effects, they don't really affect the game too much. I'm glad they're back, because it does add a bit of a challenge. Some of them can be quite difficult, so like hail that takes off health like every, I don't know how many steps. Some like sunny weather, I think it raises fire moves and weakens water moves and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool to see it back. Hopefully they add them to a few more dungeons to make it a bit more difficult. But yeah guys, moving on, I'm just going to tell you a list of the Pokemon that are in Foreboding Forest, just the ones that I saw during this demo. So we get to see Stantler, Furfrou, which is an X and Y Pokemon, so it's good to see that, Spritzy, Mr. Mime, Weedle, Tailo, Oddish and Bellsprout, so a nice mix of Pokemon. Some that you'd expect to see in a forest, maybe like Weedle, Tailo and Oddish, and Bellsprout, but then you get to see some weird ones like Furfrou, Spritzy, Mr. Mime, very weird to see in a forest, that's kind of creepy. But yeah, it's a nice mix of Pokemon in that forest. We also get to see wands. Now these are new items, and basically, by the looks of them, they can be used multiple times, so, you know, like if you had seeds, they're like a one-time use. But these wands apparently can be used a couple of times and then they run out. Don't know why they've added them to the game. Like, are seeds more effective on certain Pokemon? I can imagine because wands sound quite, you know, they're more powerful than seeds by the sounds of it, that, you know, they'll probably miss on higher level Pokemon, whereas seeds are more guaranteed. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know why they've added them in, you know, when they have seeds that do the same things as them. So we'll see. Also, we get to see orbs are in the game. We already knew this because it was shown off in one of the trailers, when Riolu uses a roll call orb to bring back the Pokemon like Cyndaquil and Wailord. So again, not surprised, just good to see though they are back, and it shows, you know, your main Pokemon picking up a Petrify orb, and that's basically, it kind of like freezes Pokemon, kind of paralyzes them. Kind of interesting, that one. We also get to see a tiny Reviver Seed. Honestly, that's really weird. We've never had a tiny Reviver Seed, I don't think, in any other Mystery Dungeon game. And I don't know what, you know, the difference is between a regular Reviver Seed and a tiny Reviver Seed. Have they renamed Reviver Seeds to just tiny ones? Or is it like you need a couple of those Reviver Seeds to revive yourself? Or is it just that they've been renamed? I mean, are there going to be large Reviver Seeds that can, you know, be used more than once? Honestly, don't know, guys. Comment down below what you think these tiny Reviver Seeds are, because I can't really work them out. It could be like you get revived, but you don't have much health. It's honestly a bit weird. It's kind of interesting though, I guess, and if that adds more challenge to the game, then I'm down for that, I guess. We also get to see that a Wonder Tile does return, so basically, if you're versing a Pokemon and your stats are reduced, they'll kind of stay like that until you move on to the next floor. So basically, if you step on one of these Wonder Tiles, it'll revert your stats back up to their normal level, and that's kind of helpful because there are a lot of Pokemon that will lower your accuracy, your